What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me, but I just got home off of an early morning flight, right? First thing through the door, I want to see my family. I love my family. You know, I'm a family man. I'm an advocate for families, right? Second thing, I got to get that hot shower because I got to throw the threads on. The threads make me feel like $1,000,000, but the third thing through my mind and all throughout the trip is that I gotta have that Teege pack. Teege makes my life uncomplicated. It's uncomplicated skincare for men. The first way that I started specifically was their level 1 system. It's a daily face wash to get rid of the dirt and grime on your skin. 2 times per week exfoliate and scrub to get rid of the dead skin cells. An AM moisturizer with SPF 20 because you should always be protecting your skin from the sun. And a PM moisturizer to help your skin stay hydrated and healthy throughout the night. Here's the thing. My favorite part about Teege Hanley is that every box comes with an instruction card that tells you when to use each product, how much to use, and in what order. They really making the process of achieving and maintaining amazing skin for men uncomplicated. In addition to amazing skin, members of Teege Hanley get tons of benefits, including at least 20% off the retail price, the ability to customize your box, exclusive monthly deals, you can pause and cancel at any time, and you get free shipping. And because Teege Hanley is sponsoring today's video, they're offering my viewers an amazing deal, right? Just click the first link in the description and you get 30% off your first box, plus a free gift. It's an amazing deal. You got to get started today. You're not out here trying to look like a dusty. And if you travel as much as I do, which I'm sure most people don't, but you know me, I'm pushing my bag chasers in order to be in the top 5%, top 10%, top 1%. We got to make our lives uncomplicated, and Teege Hanley is no better product. You got to look good. You got to smell good. And you can't be looking like a dusty. Make sure you get started today. Click the link in the description. Get that Teege pack. Feel the Teege, my friends. What's going on is Anton from AntonDaniels.com. I appreciate you guys for continuing to rock with me. Thank you to Teege Hanley, sponsor of the show. Uncomplicated skincare for men, 30% off your first order plus the free gift. I got the Teege pack and I am looking absolutely positively gorgeous. Just got out the shower, feeling great, always shaved, always in a good space. Feeling like $1,000,000. Oh my God, I'm feeling absolutely awesome. What's going on, chat? What's happening? Let me see what's happening in the chat. Let me see the different people that's in the chat. We got Florida Boy. What's going on, Florida Boy? Big Suggs. My dog Kojak is in the building. Beautiful Disaster. What's going on, Alina? What's happening? You know what I like about y'all? That as y'all come in, y'all are speaking with each other. Y'all interact with each other. Y'all show love to each other. Y'all say good morning to each other. Y'all don't come in here just for me. Y'all come in here for each other. What's up, Daryl? What's up, Jeremy in the building? Julian, my dog. I've known him since, how long have I known Julian? Since I was 19, 20? What's going on, friends? Y'all don't just come in here with good spirits. Y'all come in here with good energy. Good energy. Let me tell you how important good energy is, and then we're going to get into the show. We're going to try to get to our regularly scheduled program today, okay? Because yesterday, Anton went off the rails, and you know when I started getting into that zone, that spirit, it just turned into something completely different. So I'm going to try to hold back because I tried to hold back yesterday. But we're gonna try to get to it because all week this week we getting straight to the money. We getting straight to accountability when it comes to how we handling money. We getting straight to understanding the difference between being rich and poor because the middle class is going away. We gonna get straight to it. But before I get to that, I always try to give y'all some insight based off of the things that I experience on a regular basis. So for those of you that seen the video that I dropped yesterday, I'm coming in and out of getting my food over here in Michigan. You know what I'm saying? I decided to stop over in some old stomping grounds in Pontiac. And then I came over into another restaurant. It was called the Bronx Deli, right? For those of y'all that's in Michigan that have never been to Pontiac, I go to the Bronx Deli sometimes. It's dope. They got some of the best food. Not necessarily good for my girlish figure that I'm working on, but really great food. And then I'm walking out, I'm vlogging, and a white lady, older white lady, is in her Chevy Colorado and she fucking backing up on my Benz. And I'm like, oh no, not the Benz. Listen, I actually edited out a little bit of what my real reaction was when she was bagging up. Like, if you can look at the clip, it's actually kind of chopped up because my voice was just a little bit too high pitched for me to put that on the internet. I know how motherfuckers like to make videos about me on a regular basis. I'm cool with that because the more they talk about me, the bigger I get. However, my voice just got a little too high pitched and I just jumped a little too high. So I edited a small clip of that out because I said, you know what? I'm not going to get that to them. I'm gonna give them I'm gonna give it to them, but I'm not gonna give them the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? And even the fact that I'm laughing about it and I can laugh at myself right now is a testament to good energy, right? Because, for me, it was just like, honestly, after the initial impact, because, the initial shock is going to be something else, right? She's backing up to the bins and she's just like, douche. I'm like, oh, Jesus Christ, what the fuck are you doing? Paid a lot of money for that car. You know what I'm saying? The app immediately alerted me, hey, collision, what you doing? And I'm like, okay, cool, right? Whatever. So I go and I inspect it. It's a little teeny tiny chip. And I know people like, Anton, it's a lot of sensors under there. It could be, I'm not fucking tripping off that because it's good energy, right? Because it's just stuff. And then when I went back into the restaurant to pick up my order, because I was actually, they said Anton screamed. That's okay, JC, I got you. When I went back in there to pick up my order or whatever, and the girls and all of the people was in inside like, I see what she did to your car. Whatever shit did you get her? And I'm like, hey, it's just the car. And they're like, what? I'm like, it's just the car. They like, man, I would have never reacted like that. I wouldn't did this. I wouldn't have did that. And I know you wouldn't. And the reason why you wouldn't is because we different. We different. I'm going to be honest with you. It's just stuff. And this is the difference between being a bag chaser and being a person that covets stuff and money. Because even though I celebrate my lifestyle by being able to do whatever I want to do, and I fly where I want to fly, and I fly how I want to fly, and I buy all of the nice things, I come from nothing. And the benefit of coming from nothing is that I know that it don't mean nothing, but it's a nice to have. It's a phenomenal opportunity to have options, but it don't fucking mean a thing. I don't need this stuff. I don't need the cars. I don't need the Rolexes. I don't need none of that. As a matter of fact, as much as it hurts my heart, I'm deciding to get rid of the shoe collection because I'm saying that I want to mature and I want to move into a different space in my life to where A, I want to become a minimalist, and then B, I am refining my girlish figure in the gym every single day. But then I want to start to look at the things that I want to become. I want to become an older man. I'm not looking to be the guy that still was wearing chingy gear and jackpot party, you know what I'm saying, when I was younger. I want to become an older, distinguished gentleman. So I'm always ever evolving. I'm always changing. I'm always becoming a better version of myself, right? But let's stay back on track. So good energy, though. The lady was so surprised that I wasn't tripping about it, even though my car and her car was two different cars. She felt even worse the fact that I wasn't tripping about it because she had been having a bad day. And I don't do things based off of color and all of that. And people was dissecting the video. Why did she say, is that your car or something like that? I don't trip about that. It doesn't mean anything to me. At the end of the day, she gonna go about living her life and I'm gonna go about living my life. But my question then always becomes, did I impact her or did I leave a good impression? And am I then changing not only the stereotype, but the narrative behind people and a black man in general? The next guy or the next black man that she runs into, whatever her experience was before me, I'm the last impression that she has. Which means that not only am I making the earth a better place as a result of the people that I interact with and how I live my life just in a general sense, but also the things that I put out, the content. I dropped a Patreon exclusive video yesterday. Yesterday afternoon, I dropped a Patreon exclusive video. Did you watch it? Did you tap into it? Are you waiting so that you can forget about it and then you're going to get another alert later to say Anton is dropping another video? Did you watch it so that you can then get the information so you can level up? Because I broke down exactly how you can do certain things from a business perspective and then take less risk and then be more successful as a result of it. Did you watch it? I put it out with good energy. My gift to you, good energy. I put it out with good energy. My goal every day is to impact people positively because there's enough people and the devil is running rampant and the demons is out here. Demons is in people that you know every single day. It's in your family members. It's in the person that you sleep next to every day. Let me say this, and then we're going to get to the show. Shout out to Persevere TV. Persevere TV says, I was just confused as to why she asked you if it was your car. Maybe that spoke to the day she was having. Or maybe she was just innocently asking if it was my car because she wanted to be responsible for the idea that, hey, if it's somebody else's car, then you don't have no other choice but to take my insurance or something. I always assume the best. You know what I'm saying, Persevere TV? I'm always assuming that people coming at it with good intentions because I have more faith in people than maybe they even have in themselves. And then maybe if they see the energy that I'm giving off, then they'll start to adopt the energy that I'm giving, right? They'll start to have that same sentiment. They can pay it forward. Maybe somebody that is going to make a mistake and it's going to be their fault in her life, she give them grace and then we just continue to multiply in that way. You know what I'm saying? So let me say this before we get into the show, right? Let me say this. I'm determined to have good energy no matter what happens. I don't care how bad things get in the economy. I don't care how good things go. My energy don't shift depending on the circumstances that I'm in. But more importantly, your energy shouldn't shift depending on the people that you are around or the ones that you interact with. And I'm not just talking about the lady that ran into my car yesterday. I'm talking about in general. Fellas, I'm going to speak to you personally right now because I know that, you know, they always try to hit you with this negative sentiment about what's going on and how you need to do things differently based off of a fear perspective. But I'm going to hit you with it based off of an abundance mindset. Fellas, gentlemen, don't let anybody, and when I say anybody, I mean don't let not one person throw you off your square and get you in a space where you then start to devalue yourself, you move differently, or you start to look at yourself as less than you are supposed to be. You can't operate in an abundance mindset like that. If you moving based off of anger and negative energy, then you can't truly accomplish the things that you set out to accomplish. If you're letting other people throw you off your square, you can't continue to do the things. It's going to be some stuff. Now that I set this message to you, let me tell you how God works and then how the devil go about testing you. Because that's what happens, right? When I pulled out that camera yesterday, I was about to talk about, and if you look at it, look at the beginning of the video before it happens. It's literally like 10 seconds in. I'm like, hey, listen, don't let nobody throw you off your square. Soon as I said it, she fucking backed into my car. And it's like, Anton, okay, here's your test. The minute that you say something, the test comes. Because I'm going to just tell you, the devil don't give a fuck about people that's dusties. What do he need them for? His demons already is all over him. It's like the pig that was in the mud and they had to cast the demons. Y'all don't read the Bible. Don't worry about it. Sorry about my biblical scriptures. It's the things that I read on a regular basis. The demons already got the people that's the dusties. We trying to pull them out. We trying to pull it out of them. He don't care about them. He care about the people that's actually impacting people and then turning the narrative around from negativity to positivity. He going to attack you because you then starting to move a little bit differently, but I don't want you to get discouraged because then you'll say, God, as soon as I start turning my life around and I start doing things differently and I start doing the thing that actually is in my best interest, everything start going wrong. Life is an endurance test. It's giving to he who endureth to the end. It's not about the swift. It's not about the race. It's not about how fast you can start off. It's about he who endureth to the end. The test, let me tell you what a test is. I'm sorry, y'all. Y'all got to give me a moment. Let me tell you what a test is. A test is to qualify you to then go to the next level. It's the reason why he say, hey, be faithful in little and then I'll make you ruler over much. Why would he give you the whole corporation to run where you got everybody's families in the palm of your hand and you can't even manage the finances in your own household? The test is so that you can then have to repeat it if you didn't get it the first time because we want you to make sure that you graduate and go to the next level. It's to ensure that you know what you're doing before I put these other little ones' lives in your hand, which is one of the reasons why you can't have a life coach and you ain't even lived life. You don't understand what it means to go through anything. I say it all the time. Men are supposed to suffer. They supposed to go through things, and it ain't because you just need to be bad. It's because we making you go through the fire so you can come out pure as gold. We need to burn off all of those impurities. So what am I saying? I'm saying don't let nobody throw you off your purpose. It's going to be some people in your life that you thought was for you and they're going to turn against you. It's going to be some people that was riding for you for a long time, and then they're going to interact with somebody else, or they're going to get somebody to play a role in their life, and then it's going to change a knob in them, and then they're going to look at you funny the next time that they see you because they've been talking to somebody else. They got this fucked up therapist. It's somebody in their life that's playing a role that is impacting how it is that they moving, and they not going to be there for them, even when everything is done. They going to turn against you. It's going to be the people that you love the most. It's going to be your sister. It's going to be your brother. It's going to be your fucking husband or your fucking wife. They are going to turn against you. Just like Solomon. Just like Job. Remember Job? When everything was going well, everybody was riding for him, right? And then the minute that the devil got permission to test him, and then he started touching his skin and he started touching his family, the people around him said, hey, why don't you just forsake God and just go on and die? Just forget it all. Just go on and die. Look at what your life has become. He wound up becoming way richer, way more successful as a result of it, but he had to endure through the end. It's going to be some people. It's going to be the woman that you lay next to. Mark my words. She is going to turn on you. She going to test your manhood. She is. Everything is going to go great until it don't. And one day she going to decide to test you. You going to go off your square? You going to move differently? You going to leave your purpose? You going to continue to focus squarely on what you're supposed to do because they are not the fucking priority. It's not the person that you lay next to. Your mama ain't the priority. Your daddy ain't the priority. Your priority is your priority. Now tell them to get on fucking board or get the fuck out of there because somebody is going to test you. It's going to be your kid. They're going to come to you and they're going to test every single thing in your being. You're going to be thinking to yourself, I did not raise them this way. Where are they getting this from? Are you going to waver? You going to flip out? You going to be something different? You're going to become something other than exactly what you need to be for the people that need you because it's somebody out there later on in the journey of your life and you're supposed to affect them. You're supposed to connect them with somebody else that's connected to them, with somebody else that's connected to them. If I had wavered at any point in my life off of what it is that I'm doing, you guys that are a part of the Bag Chasers, you guys that have made so many great connections, and let's be clear, half of y'all be going and visiting each other and y'all be interactive, y'all be conferencing, y'all be scheduling shit inside of my Discord that I don't even be knowing about until I jump in my Discord and I'll be like, oh, that's dope. Let me join what they scheduling in my Discord for each other. Y'all so interconnected, but let's be clear. You don't connect with the person that you connect with if I don't do what I'm fucking supposed to do and endure long enough to actually get to the end. You don't get it. And here's the worst part about it, because you don't know what you don't know because you never was experiencing it in the first place, so you don't even know what you missed out on. It almost reminds me of people that had kids, right? And they fucked up and they have them out of wedlock and they say, but I love my kids. I wouldn't change nothing. Yes, you would. Because you don't know how much greater things would have been if you would have did it right. You're only living in the moment because you don't know what you don't know. And that's the beauty of life. God lets you make choices thinking that you know what you're talking about, but he hides you from the pain of what if because you don't get to see what that other path was. But let me tell you, the other path is bad. You have to focus. You cannot let anybody throw you off your square. I don't care what it is, who it is, how close they are to you, how much they think that you owe them. When you are on a path and God gives you an objective, you fulfill it. I don't care if they falling asleep like Peter did when he asked Peter, he said, hey, pray with me because listen, I'm about to fucking get crucified tomorrow. Pray with me. Peter was like, he said, oh, it don't matter. I'ma still do what I do. They're going to fall asleep on you. They're going to sleep on your greatness. And then they're going to act like they always seen it in you when you wasn't great. They're going to sleep on you. I'm sorry. Give me a minute. Give me a minute, y'all. Let me just do what I do. They gonna sleep on you. They gonna tell you you ain't nothing. And then as you continue to ascend to the top, and when you get rich, they're going to try to take it from you and they're going to tear it down and they're going to say, he ain't shit. He ain't got nothing. He wasn't never nothing. It don't matter what you show them. Listen, I am one of the most transparent people on the internet. I show you my bank account. I show you my life. I show you my wife. I show you my daughter. I show you my brokerage. I show you my W-fucking-2s. Before I even pay my taxes, I show it to you. And they still gonna say, you ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. Who you think you are? And it's more of a reflection of them than it is you. But if you start to adopt and believe what they telling you, you then get off your purpose. And then you don't do what you're supposed to do, and you fall short of what it is that you was truly supposed to become, all because you allowed somebody and you let the snake get in your ear, and you didn't realize that it was the fact that somebody else got in their ear, and instead of you being what you're supposed to be, you do what Adam did. Why do I keep referring to all these Bible stories? You do what Adam did, and you bite the fruit too, and you let her get you fucking kicked out of the garden. Why do I keep referring to all of these biblical stories? Because this is what I read on a daily basis. You are going to let that person talk to, it ain't even got nothing to do. They went out there and they talked to the snake. Now they trying to bring the fruit to you because they want to feel better about themselves, which is exactly what crabs in a bucket do. But you got to stay focused. You stay clear. You stay focused. You don't get influenced by anything that's trying to throw you off of exactly what you're supposed to do. You focus, you do what you do, and then watch how it turns out on the other end of the spectrum. Watch how it turns out on the other end of the conversation. You are great, man. You are a king, bro. You are a king in the making. Please don't let anybody try to diminish your light, because it's only getting brighter the greater that you become. But if you let somebody start to cover up your light, don't do it. Don't fall for it. I don't care who they are. I don't care how close they are to you. You're going to have somebody that turns on you. They did it to Jesus. Why would they do? Why wouldn't they do it to you? They did it to Jesus. They did it to Martin Luther King. They did it to Malcolm X. They did it to every single great leader. Every one of them. It was the person that was closest to them that was washing their feet. It was the Judas. And they're going to do it for 50 pieces of silver. 50 pieces of silver. They're going to sell you out. And life is not about what happens to you, it's how you react to it. It's 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you react to it. In every situation, every day you're going to be tested. Pass the test. Graduate. Go to the next level. The reason you're not rich today is because you didn't pass the test. And in order for you to be able to get more responsibility, because let's be clear, when you God's people, he's not going to let you go past the grade that you're supposed. When you serve the devil, when you serve demons, right? What happens is they give you all of your heart's desires, which is one of the reasons why money doesn't make you a better person. It makes you more of what you already are. So just because you got rich don't mean that you're a person of good character, which is one of the reasons why I say I only rock with people of good character. I could see the greatness in Jay Prince. Even though he has a mindset and all of this crap has been put into his life, his whole life, I looked through and I seen his spirit. I seen his heart. I prayed for that man. God said, yo, he is a good person. You stick with him. And I don't waver. I don't pick and choose how long I'm going to roll with somebody. I stick with people until they don't want to be stuck with no more. He a good dude, and you can see it. Right now, he's going through a place, and I hate to use Jay Prince as an example because I didn't play this. I didn't plan this. But Jay Prince is going through a transformation, and now his spirit is conflicted because it's fighting with his flesh, with what his spirit is now telling him, because I'm starting to have an effect on him. Y'all starting to have an effect on him. He said, Anton, I never would have thought about this in the first place. Now I'm thinking to myself, I shouldn't even be out here past 12 o'clock. I should be on the live stream with y'all having a good time. He regretted the very fact that he went outside, even though his entire life he's been taught to do B. And I'm saying, hey, I'm going to keep showing you this light. I'm going to keep being the beacon for you, my friend. I love you. Let me show you exactly how it is that you need to become great. Let me show you what greatness looks like. You got it in you. We gonna pull you along and we gonna trudge. This is an endurance race. If it gotta take the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years, I'm with you, my friend, because you don't even know what friendship looked like. You think it was the people that was with you, and it's not. It's not the people that you was raised with. That ain't it. That ain't it. Those are not your friends. Your friend is somebody that you ain't never met before in your life, and you happen to you think it's a circumstance that you ran into me, and it's not. It's not a circumstance. This is the truth. This is the truth. This is the truth. If you've never heard it before in your life, your friend and the person that got your back the most is going to be somebody you never even thought you thought it was a circumstance. You thought it was just a part of the algorithm, but God sent somebody in your life so that they can change your fucking life. Then you need to listen to them and you need to ride with them because they're the person that got your best interests at heart. Real talk. It ain't the people that you was rolling with. And I'm going to pull you along. I don't care if you're going kicking and screaming. As long as you want to be here, is as long as I'm going to have your back and I'm going to forgive you and I'm going to love you and you're going to forgive me and we going to fight and we going to make mistakes, but we going to do this together. We better than our circumstances. We better than our environment. We better than the people that we surrounded ourselves with early in our life because we didn't have no choice. You better than your father. You better than your mother. I'm telling you right now. You better than everything that you thought was a part of your life that was good and it was really bad. And so now you're going to come into a space where your heart is conflicted because you don't know right from wrong anymore because it turns everything inside out. But you didn't even know that you was wearing your shirt backwards. And so it feel weird to you because the cotton part don't feel the same as the part where you got on the inside because that's where the logo is. And the logo is scratching you. And then when I got you and I took your shirt off and I said, be naked for a second, understand what it feels like in this world, and then let me turn your shirt inside out and then put it back on you. Now you understand what it feels like. Now you understand what you got a little small taste of greatness, and now you fighting within yourself because your soul is conflicted and you don't even know right from wrong anymore. And so what you find yourself doing is fighting against your flesh. And somebody is going to try to knock you off your purpose. And I'm trying to tell you that in order for you to be successful, in order for you to be rich, you're going to have to fight every fucking day the same way that you fought for the things that was bad for you. You're going to have to fight every fucking day. Every day I'm in the gym fighting against the fact that I want to sleep longer. Every single day you're going to have to fight. Fight with that dick discipline. Every single day you're going to have to fight. Fight with your finances because you want to go out there and you want to spend money on something that's going to make you feel good right now. But it's going to feel way better in the future. Trust me. Stick with me. Hold me down. Hold me down for your benefit. Roll with me. Just roll with me long enough to actually get to the results and make it work for you. Just stick with it long enough to make it work for you. I promise you, it's going to feel like gold. It's going to feel like heaven on earth. And nothing and no one is going to be able to stop you and bring you back because you've already now mastered what it takes and got the blueprint on what it feels like to be successful. Your biggest journey or your biggest mistake, your biggest issue is going to be trying to convince other people that it feels this good on this side. They're going to fight, they're going to kick, they're going to scream. The majority of the people going to say, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. In reality, it's going to be this one, it's going to be that one, and it's going to be a sea of people, and you're going to pluck out 5. And those are going to be the ones that you affect. It's the truth. I didn't mean to go into this. I didn't mean to do this. I'm sorry. I genuinely am sorry. I didn't mean to do this. I'm going to get to y'all super chats. Let me get back to the show. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do this. I was just really, I'm passionate about y'all being successful. I'm passionate about y'all having growth. I'm passionate about y'all really going to the next level instead of staying in this same old place that you've been doing for the last 10 years. And it's going to take for you to do something extraordinary, something different from what you used to in order for you to get something that you ain't ever had before. I want to get into the show. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. Let me get into the show. Make sure y'all subscribe to the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I ain't even did the housekeeping. 30% off your first order plus a free gift for Teege Hanley. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. I just have so much more that I want to say to y'all, but that's not the show. I have to step back for a minute because that's not why we're here. We got a show to do. We got some information we need to get to, and we need to get to the money. All right. So let me get to some of these super chats and we're going to see what's happening. This is True Love and Education AD. Thank you, Viper Black. I appreciate you, my friend. I'm already spent. I ain't even gonna lie. I'm feeling some type of way right now. Trail 5 says, Anton, I just watched the last masterclass. The point about sacrifice and what Les said hit deep. Success ain't without its sacrifices. Grace to you. Shout out to everybody that's looking at the mastermind sessions inside of the Patreon. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you. Alvin S says, salute to you, Anton. You're a great example of Jesus Christ in action while rocking Versace. Thank you. That is probably one of the biggest compliments that I can get. Patrick Hill says, I've been here for a little while. How do I join the Patreon? The link is in the description for you to join the Patreon, my friend. Natasha says, happy birthday to Alaquandria. Happy birthday, Alaquandria, my baby girl. I love you. And then Kingdom Minded also said, hope your baby girl gets richer off you cursing. Teach the people about sowing and giving. I'm sitting on my deck looking out over all of my land, basking in this Michigan weather, praying over my husband and son. Shout out to you, Kingdom Minded. You are so sweet. You such a sweet woman. Such a absolutely positively sweet woman. Real says success without sacrifice does not exist. Absolutely. Service says get these likes up. Is the likes anemic again? Come on, y'all. Get the likes up. Get the likes up, y'all. I'm not even gonna walk away from y'all this time. Says, my dog Razik says, Ant, it's important to me. You see my character, bro. Tony Robbins said, it is the journey of a lifetime. It is going to be a phenomenal journey. It's going to be great, Razik. I see you, big dog. All right, y'all. All right. So let's get into the show. Let's pivot. All right. I want to pivot real quick so we can actually, hopefully I can leave y'all with something good and add value into y'all life. Okay. So Sir Shai also says, let me make sure I acknowledge all the super chats. Says, bought time, the housing market crashes, homes in San Francisco Bay Area overrated. I like the brick home style in Detroit, but look forward to this. And then Natasha, my baby girl, says, Angel Ty, LeBron got a new job too. We love the birthdays, the bags, and all the blessings. Shout out to Angel, my dog. I love you, Angel. Happy birthday, my friend. And shout out to Natasha, the greatest person, one of the best people and the most phenomenal bag chasers that's here. All right, y'all. So let's talk about this real quick, right? I want to break it down and I'm going to use a few different articles in order to do so. All right? Let me set this up really quickly. Not that one. All right, so let's get into this. This is courtesy of Market Watch. Nah, I'm not going to use that one. I'm not feeling that one. So let's start here with money wise. All right. I'm gonna reread y'all super chats in a minute. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. So let's start here. All right. So money wise says, don't expect a bidding war if you're selling your house because home buyer competition just plunged to the lowest level in 2 years. All right. Let's go through the article a little bit. Intense home buying competition helped fuel real estate prices in the recent years when there were competing offers and people didn't want the deals to slip away. And so what you're seeing in society, let me just summarize this for y'all. What y'all seeing in society is that we had FOMO. It was a lot of people that had FOMO. FOMO is what I call fear of missing out, meaning that they were willing to pay egregious prices for things that they shouldn't have had in the first place. They was paying $50 and $75 and $150,000 over asking price without even an inspection on the property in order to get into a home because they had fear of missing out and they didn't have the patience, right? And I told y'all over the last couple of years, I said, y'all got to have patience. I'm not buying nothing right now. I said, Anton, you're not just going to get, no, I'm not buying nothing right now. It doesn't make sense. The finances don't align. And there's plenty of people that are even now, with a good economy, so to speak, because we got unemployment at 3.6%, even though inflation is at 9.1%, you have people that are upside down in the value of their home. Can you imagine that? You just bought a home within the last 6 months, the last 9 months, 3 quarters ago, and you already upside down in your house. Now, because everybody is similar like to gambling, right? A gambler, and it's funny because I was talking to somebody and they say, yeah, my friend is day trading and they showed me all of this money that they was making. And I said, fam, you do know that day traders over 90 something, 95, 96% of day traders lose, right? I asked him a question. I said, hey, is he the type of person, because he was going into business with this guy, right? And I said, is he the type of person that you would consider like one of the smartest, wisest people? And they were like, no, actually, I'm gonna cut through the BS. I'm gonna tell you the real. He said, no, actually, now that I think about it, they probably was the least smartest people that I know. I said, and you're telling me that you're pumping money into this business. He's never showed you his finances. He's never showed you, you don't have access to the business bank account. You just gonna keep pumping money into this business and they telling you that they're gonna continue to run this check up and that they actually losing money on the business because they're underpricing the competition so they can run them out, and you going for that. This is the honest to God truth. I swear to God, I just had the conversation last night. I don't swear to God. I promise on my father, on my dead father, that they said this. I said, and you really believe? He said, I said, you're too smart for this. You're getting finessed. I could smell a finesse a mile away. And I said, how do you know that I said, what do they do for a living? He said, he's a day trader. I said, how do you know that they're making money? He said, because he's my roommate. So well, if he getting all of this bread, what do he need to stay with you for? Because you make over $300,000 a year. He said, I don't know. I just thought about that. You just brought this up to me, Anton. These are the questions that I'm asking, right? And so I said, I said, how do you know he making money? How do you know he's successful? He showed me when he had some $3,000 or $4,000 days. I said, cool. I said, have he ever showed you the losses? Like one or two. And all of the time that you known him, he said he only had one losing day. Yeah, you getting finessed. The thing about gamblers and the thing about day traders is that they never show you the losses. They only gonna show you the wins. So when you see people similar to what was happening in cryptocurrency and in GameStop and all of these meme coins and meme stocks and stuff like that, it was people out here ready to kill themselves because they lost everything because they believed this story that people were telling them that was not true. It was a lie. And it was a white lie. And a white lie is much different than a regular lie, because a white lie is when you tell the truth, but you only tell half of it. So you show the wins, you just never mention the losses, even though what you're trying to convince people to do is align with the way in which you think, even though what you think is toxic because you got more losses than wins. So you lying, but it's a white lie. And that's what happened in the real estate market. Now, you literally have people that bought their home within a year ago that's already upside down, and what we're identifying as a market that is supposed to perpetually go up. Now, how does that make sense? How does it make sense? We cook in a day. And when you come into the Millionaire Morning Show, hit a like for the YouTube algorithm and subscribe to the channel, because I don't just look at this and I just give you information. I break it down and I deep dive into it to help you understand it from a C student's perspective. That's my gift. That's what God said my gift is. My gift to the world is being able to understand things, and all you do get understanding. Understand things in a way that other people can't. So when you reading it, it's jibber jabber, but when I break it down to you, it's a little bit different. Let's continue. All right. But it seems that the bidding wars for homes are finally starting to cool off, just like I told you it would. According to a new report from real estate brokerage Redfin, 49%, basically 50%, of home offers from its agents face competition in June on a seasonally adjusted basis. 49% of home offers from its agents faced competition in June on a seasonally adjusted basis. That was the lowest bidding war rate since May 2020, when C19 brought the real estate market to a near dead stop. What is this telling you? It is the complete difference. Shout out to Shay for the Cash App. I appreciate you, love. Shay, you are absolutely beautiful. Thank you for supporting the platform. What this means is, just a year ago, everybody was overpaying for property. Now, it's a 50% drop in the level of competition that people are facing when it comes to home prices and making offers. And so some people would say, well, the Fed has been raising rates, and so home ownership has become less affordable. Home ownership is not affordable for the majority of you anyway, and that's why you got a 30-year mortgage instead of a 15. Listen. How many of y'all, answer me this question. Answer me this question. We're going to come back to the article. Don't worry. Don't worry. I got you. How many of y'all would finance a car for 10 years? I'll wait. How many of y'all will finance a car for 10 years? It sounds crazy. I'm looking at the chat right now. It sounds absolutely insane to finance a car for 10 years. Most of y'all saying that you shouldn't finance a car in the first place, but for some reason, you were able to get sold from the banks on the idea of a 30-year mortgage equating to a white picket fence with a little bit of dog. Who would finance a car for 10 years? The average rate of financing 20 years ago was 60 months, which is the equivalent of 5 years. Now you know what's happening? People have started financing for 6 years, 72 months. I've seen some 84-month financing. I said, what the fuck is this? I didn't even know they did 84 months. What's next? 96? You know, Anton knows multiples. 96 months? Listen, we're on the cusp of financing cars that cost the equivalent of what a house used to cost for 10 years. 10 years. It used to be 60 months. Now they all way up at 84 and 96 months. But think about this for a second, right? We have the option to finance houses, if you want to finance, for 15 years. You literally save half the interest. If you're going to get a mortgage and the mortgage is $300,000 and you put 20% down and then you finance the rest of it for the next 15 years, you're going to pay the equivalent, depending on what the interest rate is, of somewhere around $70,000 to $75,000 a year. $75,000 for the entirety of the loan, maybe even $80,000. That's just what you giving them to help you be able to pretend like you own that house that you ain't gonna never own in your entire life. But you got people that would do it for $30,000 simply because they focusing on the payment instead of focusing on exactly what it is that you're paying to the servicer of the mortgage. You're so focused on the payment to maintain a lifestyle instead of looking at exactly how it is that you need to be moving from a financial perspective, because money, like I always say, is its own language. How much different is it? Well, the car don't appreciate over time. You're still giving away another $75,000, $80,000 for no reason. The car is an investment also for some people because it helps you to be able to get to and from to work. You can justify anything. Trust me. I've been around enough people to be able to justify anything. Well, Anton, I need a car. Anton, the prices is too high. Well, the bank just lets you do the marketing for you because you're so busy tapping into what you think is a guru that is selling you on the idea of what real estate is. But now you're upside down from your mortgage, similar to what started happening in 2008, because you are easily swayed instead of understanding how money works. Let's continue. Oh, we gonna cook today. We gonna fucking teach today. All right. To put things in perspective, the bidding war rate was 65% in June 2021, 57% in May 2022. So homebuyer competition has come down significantly, meaning that you got less competition, which means people are starting to lower the prices of their homes because they're upside down. They need to get out of it and they can't even afford it because layoffs are here, recession is here, inflation is here, and they can't even afford to keep their air on. Too much house. You're what we call house poor. You're what we call house poor. Okay. In fact, June marked the fifth straight monthly decline in this metric. Redfin says there's less competition in the housing market. No duh. I told you that things were cyclical. Higher mortgage rates, higher home prices, high home prices, not higher, high home prices, inflation, and a falling stock market that have eroded home buyer budgets. It's insane. Let's switch over for a second. This is courtesy of Business Insider. A senior economist is warning that a 2008 style housing market crash is coming. Let's evaluate what he's saying. Let's break it down. Supply and demand dynamics in a housing market are moving in such a way that creates a perfect recipe for home price declines, meaning that the prices of homes are going down because demand is waning. But then at the same time, let's look at the perfect storm, right? Before we even get into this article, let's look at the perfect storm. Let's break it down like this, okay? Home prices went sky high. This is the C student breakdown of it. Home prices went sky high because, let's rewind back, everybody was in a pandemic. So this manufactured pandemic forced people into a space to where they were all working from home. Now, instead of people looking at things holistically and staying put, what they did was they made lifestyle changes based off of their current circumstances, which is exactly what I tell you not to do. So they said, you know what? I don't ever want to go out no more. I love the country. I like to spread my legs out. Let's go buy a house. Government stimmy, they not going to let us fall. Rates is low, which means that the price of money is really, really low. Interest rates. And so they went out and they went shopping. And when they started going shopping for a house, they realized, well, listen, I'm willing to compromise because I'm getting such a low rate. I'm getting my STEMI checks. I'm working from home, which I didn't know that the recession was going to be coming because I never paid attention to the Millionaire Morning Show. And he was telling us about inflation. So I want to buy this home. And then they got in and they made a couple bids. And what happened was they got outbid every single time. And then they would show up to a fucking open house on Sunday. They showed up to an open house on Sunday. And then at that open house, it was wrapped around the block. And some of the most mundane, boring environments, states, neighborhoods ever, it was just wrapped around the house. Wrapped around everything. Real talk. And so then what they did is they started compromising. They said, you know what? We got to come in at least $50,000 over asking in order to beat the competition. What they didn't realize is that everybody else was like, we got to come in at least $50,000 over asking. And so it created a bidding war because money was cheap, supply was low because everybody had just came into a pandemic. And so if you were selling your house, it was a seller's market and they got everything. People were selling pieces of shit. I mean, it was just trash out here. I went out and I looked at, I said, listen, it was literally a Saturday. I told my guy, the guy that I bought all of this property from lately, I said, hey, a year ago, I said, take me around and show me what's going on. Take me around and what's happening. And he was showing me these garbage houses that it was no way that it would ever pass an inspection based off of what it was valued at. And people was paying insane prices. And I said, is this what really is happening out here? So much so, I thought about the possibility of even selling some of my properties. Y'all remember? Because people were out here doing dumb stuff. I mean, people have such a herd mentality that if you following the wrong leader, you're going to literally be followed. You're going to follow them into a burning house. Okay? But y'all all ran because y'all was watching these shows and they told you, oh, whatever. I just watched Meet Kevin talking about he's selling everything. I wonder how much of a loss Meet Kevin took this year. I wonder how much of a loss Graham Stephan took this year. I wonder how much of a loss that dude that was on CNBC Money took this year when he said that he had all of his portfolio, 90% of his portfolio in crypto. Neither here nor there. Neither here nor there. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. So everybody was out here overpaying $100,000, $150,000. I seen somebody pay $150,000 over asking. It was literally 50% more than what the house is worth. And you know what's so funny? I asked my real estate agent, I said, so what's going on with the house over? He said they're trying to sell it because they can't even fucking afford it. And the man got laid off. So the bank gonna take it. They're gonna go into foreclosure because they can't afford it and they can't sell it for what they bought it for. And the real estate agents and the sellers are the only people that made money. The real estate agents got their 6%. The sellers, they got out from under it. And now what? Now Anton is sitting in the wings like this. Because I'm flush. Because I got a lot of money. I got a whole lot of income. And I'm just looking to go shopping. Let's continue. We're going to break this down. We're going to go all the way deep this year. We're going to go all the way deep this year. All the way through December, we getting this bag. We bag chasing. On the supply side, in order to catch up to skyrocketing demand during a period of low interest rates since the early 2020s, home builders began putting up houses across the country at a rapid pace. Even though housing starts marked by the red line have started to fall, they still remain at elevated levels. Now, this is the one difference between 2008 and now. right? Because we are starting to see layoffs. Apple cut its guidance. Every fucking company. I mean, GM had a 40% decline in revenue. Every place seems like they're making adjustments and guidance. I mean, every day I read a different bank, Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Chase. They're readjusting their guidance to make sure that they can account for the losses that people are not paying for the loans that they took out with these banks, which is how they make their money. Every day, every bank says, listen, we shoring up our finances. We're not doing no more buybacks. We making sure we got enough money to substantiate these loans that we're going to take L's for from people that couldn't afford these places. You can't afford it. Let's continue. The one difference between 2008 and now, the one difference is that there is more vetting when it comes to people being able to qualify for these loans. Before, anybody can get a loan. It didn't matter if you had income. There was a lot of fraud going on. The bankers were in on it because I was making a ton of fees, so on and so forth, right? Go watch The Big Short. You ain't even got to read the book. Go watch the movie, The Big Short. They explain it to you. Now you have people that can more or less qualify for it, but at the same time, the thing that you have to ask yourself is, even though it's not as egregious as far as anybody being able to qualify, do they still truly qualify for it? Let me break it down for you. Credit is literally the gamification of how it is that you live your life. It's the reason why I say it doesn't mean anything. Does it mean something? Yes, to an extent. But for what it is that we're using it for, it doesn't mean anything. Because let's just say, for example, you've made your payment history and you got a 740 credit score and all of this stuff. Once you get past 740, it's all the same. 740 credit score and you made your payments and you're on time with everything and you got your down payment and everything and you got your 3.5% because you didn't have 20% in order to purchase the home because of private mortgage insurance. Your actual rate is going up and you didn't really account for the property taxes and how it was that you can maintain a property, and you didn't expect the final nail in the coffin. You got laid off from your job. Now what you gonna do? Because it really doesn't matter how much credit that you have if you got laid off from your job. When you don't have no money coming in, that's how credit go bad. Contrary to popular belief, most people are not looking to default on what it is that they're doing. Most people were just one paycheck away from losing everything. And you thought that your 3 to 6 months of emergency savings was going to save you, and you still couldn't find a job. And when you finally got a job, it was less than what you was thinking of. And so now you can't afford this mortgage anymore. So now you got to start Airbnb or taking it out. And everybody start doing the same thing because everybody is going through the same thing in your area. Credit didn't mean anything. It got you in, but it can't get you out. It doesn't mean that you understand the language of money. You got your credit up to a 740 and you thought that qualified you to be a high value man. It didn't. It didn't mean anything. As a matter of fact, I submit to you that somebody that is flush and does not have credit is much better suited for what's to come when it comes to a recession than somebody that got a lot of payments, depending on his income in order to pay his bills, is not really understanding how money works, and has got a 740 credit score. I submit to you that the person that don't even got credit and is flush, low expenses, high income, or middling income, did not make the adjustment based off of what was going on in the market, but was patient, is in a much better position when this recession comes than the person that's perceived to have a high 740 credit score and they got a good job. Listen, mark my words. Listen, I've been here. I've done this. I lived through the 2008 recession. I seen how it came. I seen everybody's credit score go into the tank that had good credit. That don't fucking mean nothing. Not when the chips is on the table. The credit gets you in the door. It don't necessarily qualify you to be able to sustain your lifestyle. It's a lot of people that's over leveraged through their fucking eyeballs and they cannot miss a day of work. Can't miss a day of work. They got good credit scores. They make decent income and they ain't got shit. Ain't got nothing. Praying to God that they home continue to appreciate because that's where their entire nest egg is and they're going to have to sell it in order to be able to survive when they get older. Praying to God. Can't breathe. You gonna work your entire fucking life, and when you get 70, you gonna work some more, and then you gonna die. You're gonna work your entire life based off of the gamification of credit, and then you gonna work some more, and then you gonna die. All because you was trying to keep up with the same programming and development that they used for fucking Fortnite to tell you that you ranked number one when you gotta kill. Let me go back. Listen, this is money week. Money week. Not money and it comes back to the money. This is money week. We get into the bag, okay? Let's continue. Whoo! Am I cooking or am I cooking? Y'all better hit a like for the YouTube algorithm. Housing inventory is also up 18%, meaning that they're making more houses because y'all saying that it's a shortage of homes. They're making more houses, but they can't sell them. Home builders are starting to give discounts. People are coming down on their prices, and it's only the beginning because the Fed can't afford for inflation to get out of control. And you know what's happening? Let me tell you what's happening. It's working. Combined with the layoffs, they're manufacturing a recession, which is why we are all so easily able to predict it. They're manufacturing a recession, and they understand that it's going to be some pain that comes along with whatever growth that comes later. But in order to get to that growth, we got to make a temporary recession where companies going to be laying people off. Interest rates is going to be high. We're going to lower what people can afford so that there's going to be a lot more on the market because everybody got to move in with their parents now, which then makes a buying opportunity for us that were patient. And then more importantly, literally, you are being used as a pawn and you don't even know it. Used as a pawn and you don't even know it. And then let me really give you the real blueprint because it's never going to change. And so I might as well say it. You're going to vote Republican next election. You are. You're going to vote DeSantis. You might try to get Trump back in. You're going to vote Republican. And then you're not going to be satisfied with them because you're going to say, listen, my life ain't changing none. We doing good. We're going to vote Democrat because we need to be for the people. And then they going to say, listen, if you're not black, you living in poverty, you're going to have to vote with us because we're going to give you this stimmy titty. And then you're going to vote Republican again. And then you're going to go Democrat because you're going to forget what happened to you in 2008 and 2020 and 2023 and 2024. You're going to forget about the recession and everything going to be good. And then you're going to flip flop again. Because it's so easy to play off your emotions because you don't understand the language of money. Meanwhile, people like me don't care who is in office because I'm going to win no matter what. All right, housing inventory was up 18.7% year over year in June. According to Realtor.com, it has risen. Housing inventory, the amount of available houses that you don't have to overpay and you can still get an inspection, is now up over 18% and has risen 50% since the start of the year. That means that there's literally half of the inventory, throw it on the market. On top of that, literally a 50% growth since the end of the year, and you couldn't find a house last year. Last year during this time, you was fighting for a house. Now it's an abundant of houses. You could just go out there and just throw a pebble, just like I say about the woman theory, and you can go and get you a crib. Okay, let's continue. But as the free money environment helped to fuel a 41-year high inflation rates at 9.1%, the Federal Reserve has pivoted hard this year to a more hawkish stance, causing mortgage rates to nearly double, mainly making it unaffordable for you to be able to pay the housing prices that they're at, but the housing prices haven't come down enough for you to be able to afford a home. So now there's more inventory, which is artificially making more houses available, less affordability, manufactured recession, housing crisis. Additionally, average 30-year mortgage rates have climbed as high as 5.8%, and they're going to continue to climb. After starting the year at 3.1%, Freddie Mac data shows that's killing demand. Let me say it one more time. Killing demand. Literally, the only thing that the Fed has in order to fight inflation is to raise the rates, which makes it less affordable for you. A perfect storm is brewing in the real estate market due to a near decade high construction levels and plummeting demand. Meaning that they was trying to take advantage of as much as they could as far as making sure that they build as many houses because y'all was just snapping them up And now Pulte Homes and all of those other places are looking, trying to figure out how they can get rid of this stuff and continue building, still trying to prop up what it is that they're doing from a financial perspective. All you got to do, if you really want to understand what's going on in real estate, go and look at Pulte Homes. Go and look at the different data as far as the profitability and what the forecasts are for people that are home builders. You didn't know that, did you? You thought we was just looking at what the news was saying. You thought it was Market Watch. No, go and study what the home builders are saying during their quarterly review. When they show profitability and then they give a forecast, they will tell you exactly what the industry is doing, which you can then make a prediction on how housing is going to go. Simple. Home builder says, they said, past tense, we're making so much money. There's so much demand. Everybody wants a house like Oprah. You have a home, and you have a home, and you have a home. Listen, you don't even have to put down 20%. All you got to do is listen, VAs, you've been in the military? Oh, you get a home, and you get a home. Don't worry about it. You ain't got the 20%. Just pay private mortgage insurance, and you get a home, and you get a home. And y'all ran out and y'all said that we ball and we live in the American dream. Now you upside down. Cool. Let's build like crazy. Now the Fed is reversing all that stimulus. Ooh. The Fed is reversing all of that stimulus because they're admitting basically in their minutes and in their meetings. What did I say? They're admitting basically in their minutes and their meetings. Anybody that know what minutes meetings are, anybody that's ever been in a room where people are taking meeting minutes, they're admitting in their calls. So basically when they report their earnings and they say, this is what's happening, this is what we're projecting to do. If you're looking to invest with us, this is what we're anticipating. They're admitting in their minutes and meetings that they stimulated too much. They stimulated too much. Fear of missing out. They all ran in and then you ran in and then somebody took a bazooka and they blew the house up. And it's just now starting to burn and you're just now starting to feel the aches and pains that come along with it. But all that construction that was starting, it has to finish. So it's the misalignment of time between supply and demand. The result, Torres says, it will be a severe pullback in home prices. He expected U.S. median home prices to drop by, oh, freaky Jason, say it ain't so. That sounds like money to me. You know what it sounds like? It sounds like angels and cherubims and all of the sweet smells of incense, frankincense, and myrrh. It tastes like Thanksgiving dinner. Home prices dropping by 25%. You can't fucking beat that, can you? That's how much the S&P Case-Shiller U.S. National Home Price Index dropped during the mid-2000s crisis. What? No. You're telling me we comparing exactly what happened then, but it can't happen. Can it? Can it? Okay, let's continue. We're going to see something very similar to what we saw during the great financial crisis in terms of price declines. So he's not saying specifically that we're going to go through that in the economy, though don't take it off the table because there is a manufacturing recession going on right now. But what he is saying that home prices are moving in the exact same similar way. You need to go and read what Michael Burry is saying right now. He said he expects to see double-digit declines in early 2023 and said the market would bottom out when the Fed pivots to more accommodative policy, which he expects to happen to late to mid-2023. He also thinks that home prices are going to come down so much because the Fed is just getting started on their quantitative tightening campaign, which the market has priced this already in to a degree. So what is quantitative tightening? For those of you that don't understand, what is quantitative tightening? Quantitative tightening means that they're making sure that rates continue to go up. So they're artificially making sure that rates are going to go up so that they can control inflation, which then makes demand go down because less people can afford more things. When you say you can't go to the gas station, see student perspective. When you say you can't afford groceries, right? When you say you can't afford your credit cards, you can't afford the payments, so on and so forth. What happens is they're tightening up on the availability of easy money. Easy money made you feel comfortable in being able to go out and buy whatever you wanted to buy when you wanted to buy it. And it didn't necessarily translate into success because now you upside down, right? And so they're using the tools that they have in their arsenal, and it's working. It's literally working. I don't know how good it's going to work because we don't know what Biden is going to do with these student loans. We don't know what the next economic policy is. We're expecting another rate hike. They using these numbers and it's without context and saying that, hey, unemployment is at a historic low, but people are still getting laid off, which basically means that the amount of money that you're making and what it takes for you to be able to survive, you now need 2 jobs. Listen, conclusion. Because I want to get to this video, and I am going to go through this specific video, right? I want to go through this video and break down to you how people are living. But in conclusion, what I'm telling you, and hear me closely, stop moving based off of what everybody else is doing. Stop having a herd mentality. Separate yourself. Learn to understand how money works. Put down the TV and the remote controller and start picking up a book. Join the Patreon. The link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I posted 3 new messages inside of the Discord. The build your business, the real estate, and the financial planning threads. I posted something in all 3 of them. I just posted a Patreon exclusive video yesterday, specifically dealing with how you can level up when it comes to starting your business and proofing out your concepts. Watch the video. It's like 12 to 13 minutes long. Watch the video. Go back through, watch the mastermind sessions. Do your budget according to how I did the video and the Patreon, in which you're not necessarily looking at the payment, but you're doing it based off of percentages. And then you aligning it. Fixed income, variable income, making sure you pay yourself, so on and so forth. Do the work. Educate yourself, because education will be the thing that saves your butt. It's going to save your back. It's going to put you in a position of power, and then you'll be able to use what it is that I taught you in order to level up and take advantage of when everybody else is losing. Because let's be clear, there will be winners, there will be losers. Just because you don't feel a certain type of way, don't mean that it's not going to happen. You might as well be on the winning side. Pay attention to what I'm telling you. Take everything that we talking about this week, because I'm on fucking fire this week. I've been on fire for a long time. Take everything that we saying, both in these mastermind sessions and this live stream, this free live stream that I'm giving you on a regular basis. And then in addition to that, make sure you tap in with a group of people that's moving in the direction that you're going in. If you need to kick it with me personally, email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com and we're going to get it popping. Let's get into this video. So apparently this video is making $515,000 a year. $515,000 a year, and I don't remember exactly where it's from. So I want to get straight into this video because Anton got some meetings that I need to get to in about 45 minutes. So we're going to cook through this, and I want to make sure that we break this down. All right? Y'all ready? Let's get it popping.
I didn't like the thought of putting money aside that I couldn't touch. I wanted to be able to invest everything and have it be tangible. But through like the advice of my siblings and my CPA, I do contribute about $1,500 a month to my self-directed IRA, which I am able to invest and still have control over.
Freaky Jason, Lord be offense. This man is 25 years old. He makes $500,000 a year, and he lives in Berkeley, California. 25 years old. I know nothing about this vehicle. Y'all sent it to me. I was supposed to review it yesterday, and he lives in Berkeley, California. Let's continue. Thank y'all for the super chats.
My name is Sahil Mehta. I'm 25 years old. I make around $515,000 a year, and I live in Berkeley, California.
Why do all of these people live in California? That just seems crazy to me. I cannot imagine paying the taxes. Well, there are ways that you can set things up. I can't necessarily talk about it on this live stream. Maybe I'll do it in the next mastermind session that we have. There are ways that you can set things up to where you can actually exist in 2 places at once legally, but neither here nor there. Let's continue.
I work as an executive assistant for Herman Chan at Golden Gate Sotheby's.
He works as an executive assistant?
And my day-to-day really can be largely unpredictable. I make a commission on every deal that we close, and Fortunately, the real estate market here in the San Francisco Bay Area has not slowed down. It has only increased year over year since I've started. And a lot of it has to do with, market timing.
So I'm curious now, because this video was literally close to a year ago. I'm wondering, now that we having a slowdown in the market, and now that is becoming more of a buyer's market instead of a seller's market, and inventory is lower and people are selling less homes, and it took more competition in order to do things over the last, let's just say, 3 to 6 months. I'm wondering if he's making the same amount of money, if he's as flush as he was. I'm wondering if he's making just as much money and he's as flush as he was over a year ago, which his income was also the compilation of what had happened a year before that. I'm wondering how much he's rocking out this year. I'm curious. I would love to do an update and find out exactly what he's doing. Interesting. He made $350,000 to $400,000 as an executive assistant. That's pretty impressive. Oh, so he's doing all right. Him and his brother got $9.5 million in real estate investments. He's doing all right. But I'm wondering if it's $9.5 million just based off of the properties, or is it $9.5 million based off of his net worth? Because let me break this down for y'all really quickly. Net worth is the price of the properties, right? Or how much things are worth that you have, and you want to get appreciating assets, minus what you owe on them. So just because you have, and this is what I'm saying about the white lie, right? And I'm gonna let him break it down. But basically, let me break this down to you. You can own technically or be invested in $9.5 million in properties and only have a $500,000 net worth. Let me say it again. You can have $9.5 million in properties and only have a $500,000 net worth, because you can literally have $9 million owed on those properties and have equity into it only by about a $500,000. And then that can go up and down depending on the market conditions. Let's continue.
So I was born and raised in Baltimore, Maryland. My dad was a practicing physician and my mom was a business owner. My family sort of lost a lot of what they worked so hard to earn in the market crash of 2000 and 2008.
His family lost a lot of what they earned when the market crashed in 2000 and 2008. His father was a physician. His mother was a business owner, and they lost everything in 2000 and 2008. I'm telling you that the market is cyclical, and it does not matter what you do for a living. Nobody is safe if they don't understand the language of money. Don't matter how much you make, don't matter what you do for a living. If you don't understand how money works, nobody is safe. He literally just told you. He literally just told you what I've been preaching to you this entire live stream.
And so at an early age, I learned the importance of managing money and managing risk, which really accelerated my timeline. I had different side hustles in middle school. I was selling snacks in between classes, which really created a sense of urgency for me to be able to learn about financial freedom and being able to provide that to my parents as quickly as possible so I could, leave.
His father was a physician, his mother was a business owner, and he's still working as a kid, as a 25-year-old kid, because he's still got a lot to learn. He's going to go through some ups and downs, even though he's doing well. And he's still trying to provide. Think about that, y'all. Let's put this in perspective. This man is 25. His father was a family physician. His mother was a business owner. Went through it in 2000 and 2008. He today is working to try to provide his family with financial freedom. He's a son husband and a husband. He's still trying to provide his family with financial freedom. I need y'all to read between the lines and don't just look at it based off of what he makes or what he's generating. Look at it based off of the circumstances by which he finds himself in, and then use that in order to level up or make more strategic decisions for yourself. Don't just go by the facade. Go by the reality. Listen to what he's saying.
them from the pressures that they were putting on themselves to support us. That forced me to learn about money and managing. Our parents never wanted us to be stressed or pressured, but inadvertently us seeing like what they were doing to provide for us was a lot of pressure, and it always created a sense of urgency in me. I don't pay any rent right now. I live in a building that I own, and I try to keep it that way. Elon Musk, like to many, is like a pretty big role model to me. I ended up buying Tesla Model X. It was my dream.
All right, let me break this down. All right, so we got, he's paying $1,700 a month for his car payment, car insurance. He's paying $1,700 a month for a Tesla Model X. Now the Model X is the SUV, the top of the line SUV one. He makes $500,000 a year, and he's paying $1,700 a month for cars. His IRA, he's putting $1,500 a month into that. Spends $700 a month on food, $460 on travel. What is that? $460 a month on travel. What is that? Where are you traveling to for $460 a month? $310 discretionary, $198 in memberships, $70 for a phone, and $10,000 in it with savings. What do y'all think about this? Before I break it down, what do y'all think about this? I do like that he's putting it into an individual retirement account. I like the fact that he's putting $1,500 a month into that. He has a $15,000 monthly budget, basically, and he's putting $10,000 into savings. For me, that's the only red flag. I don't like the idea that he's paying $1,700 a month for a car, but that's a whole nother conversation. He can afford it. He can either buy it outright or, you know what I'm saying, he can finance it for $1,700 a month. If I'm him and I'm not looking at things from a business perspective, I'm going to just buy it outright. But that's a completely different conversation. He's putting the only red flag for me is he's putting $10,000 a month into savings instead of putting $10,000 a month into investments. I'm assuming because he said that he lives in a building that he owns, that he's also making the rent, or he's having other people basically substantiate the mortgage, and then he's living for free. So basically he's house hacking. All right, let's go.
Car, and I just feel so fortunate to be able to buy it, but then also just use it. At the end of the last year, I found out that there was a way that I could buy the car and write off the entire amount if it weighed more than a certain amount. And so I discovered that the Model X qualified. So there's definitely moments where
Smart man. He's looking at everything from a business perspective. He said if it weighed over a certain amount and he bought it, he could figure out how he could write it off. So he didn't just buy the car for the sake of buying a car. He bought the car understanding exactly how he needed to move more strategically from a business perspective. And this is what I try to teach y'all on a regular everyday basis. Don't just go buy stuff because you can afford it. Go out and do the homework to figure out how you can make sure that you're getting the most out of it from a financial perspective. Lil Black Duck says, Pastor Daniels, the video you dropped in Patreon spoke to me. Here's a little something for the building fund. Bag chasers will inherit the earth. Yeah. You know, the Bible said the meek shall inherit the earth. I think the bag chasers are meek, so I understand exactly what you're saying. Shout out to you, Lil Black Duck. Also, I got Patrick Hill says, I'm ready for a change. You know what to do, Patrick. You know what to do. Let's get it. And shout out to L. Will for the 2-ball. Thank you for contributing to the platform. I absolutely appreciate everybody, including the Cash Apps and the Super Chats. I love y'all.
I will splurge on, looking good and eating good because I have a membership at Equinox. Sometimes I don't make the best use out of it, and I know it looks that way, but I do try to go to the gym.
Still got $84,000 in a savings account. That's literally like throwing money away. It's just like throwing money away. He has $84,000 in a savings account. That's insane to me. Unless you're using that money in the near term to be able to buy something specifically, to have that sitting in your account year over year, that is insane to me. Okay, well then this makes sense. Once he saves enough, he buys another house or he upgrades his existing rentals. I'm feeling that now. See, they got to add the context. He's not saving just for the sake of putting money up just in case anything happens. He's saving so he can buy another house or he upgrades, which means that he's then getting rid of the money. He's investing it, which also means that he's lowering his taxes because the federal government loves real estate and business owners.
So the goal is to try to save as much as possible, and sometimes, it turns out to be very little just because of the natural expenses that come with property management and property improvement that we do. Prior to owning the real estate investments, I probably was saving upwards of 99% of what I was making.
That's smart.
That is largely what led to...
Look how minimalist this dude is. I like that. I like that there's nothing in there. That's what I'm about to do. I'm getting rid of all of this stuff. I'm literally about to get rid of everything except for this. I'm not getting rid of this. This is gold. And I'm not getting rid of that because that's gold. But everything else I'm getting rid of. Everything.
Being able to buy and invest in real estate so early on is because I was able to save like a significant portion of what I made.
What did I just drop? What did I just drop on a video the other day? What did I just drop on a video yesterday? I dropped a video that said that you need to get out of the place that you live at. Leave the place that you live at. You need to get out of your comfort zone and experience life in a different place. Whether you're traveling frequently, whether you spend 3 months over here in this particular space, once you leave altogether, you need to leave your comfort zone. Leaving your comfort zone is going to force you to be around other people that can give you some insight that you can live differently, and it's going to force your growth. Remember, the goal is not to be comfortable and fat and happy. The goal is to get growth. Shout out to the birthday girl, Alaquandria. Says this young man is being intentional and deliberate. Y'all need to think about leaving. It don't matter where you go. Go to a bigger city. Go to somewhere else. A lot of people are going to fight it and they're going to say stuff like, well, Anton, why would I pay more money to live here and pay there? Because you'll make more money as a result of it. Some of y'all need to get out of your comfort zone. He is literally winning on every single thing that he's saying. He said they lived in a 1-bedroom apartment and he worked at Chipotle while finishing high school. He got up from under his parents and he went and got out of his comfort zone. I like that.
He inspired and motivated me to be able to move to Berkeley. While attending my senior year at Berkeley High School, I discovered that there was an option to take concurrent enrollment for classes that transfer to UC Berkeley at a discounted rate or completely free.
Nice.
And so I aggressively took as many courses as I could to transfer. So graduating high school, I enrolled into Berkeley as a junior.
This man is winning. He literally took the concept of going to community college and he applied it in his high school courses. This dude took he literally went to UC Berkeley as a junior. Y'all out here trying to party and get these hoes. This dude is trying to get this money, understanding that he don't care nothing about that. I love this guy.
Instead of a freshman.
And he was born in Baltimore and he ain't have nothing. The dude went and got a job, worked at Chipotle, did as many classes as he could. I love this guy.
It was a little to no cost investment to experiment with the idea of being a real estate agent. And so I worked on getting my license simultaneous to all the other things that I was working on, primarily getting into Berkeley. I
think I might move to New York. I think I might move to New York next month. I literally just came up with this idea. I think I might move to New York next month. I've always felt like I needed to be New Yorker for a while. And so I think that I might move to New York just for the rest of August. I'm going to go to the Lapeef show, right? We got that show and it's, what is it? August 5th and 6th. Make sure y'all go and look at any of the Lapeef videos and click the link in the description to be able to tap into the show. I genuinely might move to New York for the next month. After August, I might just move to New York. What do y'all think about that? I'm strongly considering it. Live, work, and play. Just live in New York for a while. Leave my family behind and go and live the big city. What do y'all think about that? I need y'all. Let me put this in the chat. I'm gonna let y'all vote on it in the chat. I'm gonna let y'all vote in the chat. Let me put a poll up. End of the show. I just dropped the poll. End of the show. Y'all tell me what to do. Let's continue.
Got into real estate, I just wanted to graduate and get it done with, and then just focus as much as I could on learning about real estate.
That's nice.
My brother and I own 5 properties now in close proximity to Berkeley campus. We bought half of our portfolio last year, more than half of our portfolio just in 1 year. Doing all this while working.
More than half of his portfolio in just 1 year. So instead of asking, hey, why is he able to do it? Ask, how can I do it? Once you start generating revenue, you don't increase your lifestyle. You start looking at everything from a bit. Remember the show yesterday. This is what I need y'all to do. Replay the show from yesterday. As far as what I was telling y'all, the differences between how you think when you poor, lower middle class, upper middle class, and then rich. Rewatch that show and think about how it is that I started telling you. And tell me that that's not exactly what it is that he's describing right now.
As an executive assistant, it does give me a little more enjoyment because of the control. You know, I'm not told what to do or anything. And so part of that is definitely better. Sometimes I could wipe out entirely what I made in a month, but generally I like to save more than half of what I make in a month. More if possible.
So this is net monthly income. So they must have bought a building. I think he did say he bought the building that they live in, and that's why the property for is net monthly income, which does not necessarily mean net monthly profit. This is just income. This is not profit. Okay. So apparently he rents it out for $1,150, $2,100, $3,300, and basically $13,000.
But sometimes, you know, expenses that come with property ownership, sometimes can be very unpredictable, and I have no control over that. And so sometimes if I have to replace an unexpected leaking pipe or old roof or something, for the most part I have anticipated expenses for property maintenance, but oftentimes there are unpredictable expenses. The way that I've handled my taxes year over year has changed dramatically just because of the amount that I've made.
What did I say yesterday? What did I say about taxes yesterday? About once you get to a certain level, you start thinking differently about this progressive tax system that we have. And again, this is not financial advice. This is just based off of how I've lived in my life. You start thinking differently about the monies, and you realize that it doesn't go as far and it doesn't need to go as far because you need to get rid of it in order to increase your net worth. The tax system benefits those that invest in themselves and invest in their businesses, including real estate, instead of spending it to maintain a lifestyle. Don't be thinking like these rappers and these ball players that's going to go broke after 5 years. Think like a person that is trying to get rid of the money so that they can keep the amount of money that they have in their net worth instead of living basically off of cash. You know, one time this guy said to me, I don't think Anton is a cash millionaire. Who the fuck I look like? Birdman? What smart man in their right mind is ever a cash millionaire? You just literally seen this guy said that he saves up and he gets rid of it. I showed y'all yesterday, what did I have, like $5,000 in my bank account last night when I was on the Q&A show? It's a reason for that. Why would I ever have any more than $5,000 in my regular checking account? But you see how much I was generating though, right? Yeah.
Has changed. I created an LLC just so I could have some.
Hey, Julian, I like this. Remember this. Look. Me and Julian was talking about it in 2007. Julian says, remember when I moved there, because I used to work with Julian in a plant. And he said, I said that he should be a salesman because I almost convinced him to have me come there in 2007. Julian almost had me move there in 2007. Back when we was trying to show that Bentley. Julian almost convinced me to move to New York in 2007. I wonder how things would be different if I'd have did that. Interesting.
Tax liability, I really don't know as much as my CPA. I like sort of am hands off.
Don't you ever be hands off.
Golf.
That is a problem. Listen, just because you don't know what you're doing does not absolve you of the responsibility. Don't be hands off of anybody that worked for you. Understand exactly what's going on, because this is what happens to people on a regular basis. This is what happened to Steve Harvey. It would happen to Fat Joe. They was hands off and they didn't truly understand what was going on with their tax liability, and they had to be responsible for what happened as a result of it. Do not ever, this is the only thing that he said that I disagree with. Do not be hands off. Truly understand exactly how it is that you handle things.
The big escape for me is when I have time, I'm able to get out there and play some golf, watch basketball, and especially with my brother on the court, it's like now even more meaningful to watch the games. Traveling is one of the things that I really, really enjoy. I wasn't ever able to really travel as much as I would have liked to, but I mean, every year my family drops, sort of what they're doing, and we're able to squeeze out 1 week out of the year to be together in Hawaii. We go to Hawaii every year, like a different island.
Nice.
It's just the most beautiful experience. There's not really a particular number that I'm going after. I just want to keep pushing as high as I possibly can go.
That's the game. Once you start breaking certain ceilings, you just be like, listen, I'm going to just keep running the numbers up. I'm going to keep winning. I'm going to keep doing what I do. Just keep running the numbers up.
With the combined effort of my siblings and I, we were so fortunate to stay true to our mission of helping our parents and providing to them like they did to us. And so we were able to have them retire entirely, and they are now living close to us. What's theirs was ours growing up, and so now what's mine is I feel like is theirs. The most important lesson I've learned about money is to be patient. The money that I make doesn't really change.
What's the lesson that I just taught y'all today? What's the lesson that I taught y'all yesterday? What's the lesson I've been teaching y'all every day? Patience, endurance. It's not a race based off of being swift. It's a race based off of your endurance. He who endureth to the end. It's a patient game. Real estate, patience, money, patience, career, patience. It's all about making sure that you make the right decision when the opportunity presents itself. Be prepared. Patience, opportunity equals success.
Change my why. It just proves that when you have your reason and a really grounded mission, the sky is the limit.
I don't see him out here complaining about modern women either. I'm gonna just say that. He ain't mentioned a chick not one time in this entire video. Anyways, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning into the Millionaire Morning Show. You definitely gonna want to tune in tomorrow, because it only goes up from here. I feel like I'm going into rare form, like Goku out here. I'm in rare form. I'm evolving. I thought that I had hit some kind of level. Let me see what y'all writing in the chat about me moving to New York. Let me see what that is. Yeah, 68% yes, 32% no. Why are y'all saying no? Who said no? I'm curious, before I get off this live stream, why I shouldn't live in New York for the rest of next month after I get back from the Lapeef Let's Talk show in Atlanta. Is it because y'all want me to live in a different place? Is it because y'all think that I shouldn't go and live there? Is it because you don't like New York? Is it because you think I should stay in Michigan for the rest of August before my daughter have to go back to school? What is it? What is it? So I'm telling you that y'all need to get out of y'all comfort zone. I went and lived in Miami for 3 months. Just spirit a moment. I don't need a car. You know what I'm saying? I go ahead and get me a Metro card. I'm going to be able to ride, train, catch taxi cabs, or whatever. I don't need a car, but I need to be in an environment that helps me to continue to get out of my comfort zone and see what people are doing and saying out here in these streets. Matt said he said yes, but DC instead. DC, huh? Dropping my pass to some love offering. Thank you, Brock. DC has a really good public transportation system too. Let me see what y'all saying. I like that you're a Detroit man. Shout out to Sylvie Soul. I think I might do the next Patreon meetup in Detroit. Yeah, I'm seriously contemplating. It's going to be in the Midwest, but I think it's going to be in September. I'm biased growing up in Michigan. Shout out to Sylvie. Let me see what y'all saying. Ban anyone who says no. No, we're not going to ban. Do Miami. I already lived in Miami. I live in Miami in the winter. You want to go to Miami in the winter. Weather, cost of living, people. I don't care about that. Big H to the no. So all the Detroiters that love saying no. I just don't like New York. Let me see what y'all saying. It's all preference. I wouldn't live in NYC, but that's just me. Been there a lot though. But it's only for a month. Like you need to live in a different place on a regular basis so that you can get out of your comfort zone and then you can be connected with the people and you can network more effectively. NYC is popping. Florida boy says don't do it. That's because you love Florida. I did. My sister lived there for 3 years and is moving back to Texas. She said it's too dirty. I guess you missing what happened on the subway yesterday. I don't care nothing about that. You do need a car here, bro. No, I don't. Y'all need a car there. Summer is a good time to be in NY. DC makes more sense. What is going on with y'all? If DC is an option, do DC over NY. Why would I do DC over NY? Brock says, I don't want Pastor to get robbed mid-service. You can get robbed anywhere. Natasha says, it's because you said you'd go alone. Sharita and NY. No. Listen, fellas, let me say this to y'all too. Sometimes, honestly, and I actually started getting away from it a little bit more. But before last year, I used to go to different places by myself all the time. Like I did Thanksgiving, not last Thanksgiving, but the Thanksgiving before that. I was in Vegas by myself. Go and look the video. I was literally in Vegas by myself. I was doing a LaP Fletch talk show there, all of that. Come to the DMV. Y'all want me to come to DC. All right. So I tell y'all what. They said they hating on NY. DC is boring. All right, so I'm going to give a list of places. Pittsburgh is awesome. I love Pittsburgh. Y'all need to start embracing New York. I think New York is dope. I said yes because I want to see all of the networking and business deals you could possibly do in a month. I think I could do a lot, see. I want lunch dates with Rita. Hawaii and Los Angeles for 3 weeks, Christmas break. Yeah, but that's when it get cold outside. I love Vegas, though. I done been to Vegas 100,000 times. Folks is leaving New York. That's because they don't know how to get that money. They don't know how to get that money in New York. I'm thinking I'm going to go to New York. I'm going to give y'all a list of places. I want to see what y'all thoughts are. I think after next month, I'm going to go and live somewhere different for the rest of the month. At least 3 weeks. Give me 3 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks of a year in a specific place. We come back, we do the Patreon meetup, either in Chicago, Ohio, Indiana, or Detroit. We somewhere in the Midwest for the Patreon meetup. We knock that out in September, and we continue to move. We doing to build the business and all of that. I think that that's the move, y'all. New York is where the money conversation happened. Facts. Pittsburgh is one of the most beautiful places that I've ever seen. All right, so we're going to figure that out, y'all. Maybe I'll post it in the Discord. Again, make sure y'all join the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. I hope that this conversation that we had today inspired you. I hope that every day that when I come on here, I inspire you to be a better version of yourself and for you to step outside of your comfort zone, and that I encourage you to be absolutely positively awesome. I love y'all. I apologize for going into a zone earlier this morning and I started talking all this Bible talk and all of that because that's just my life. I love God. I love Jesus. It's absolutely dope, man. I rock with y'all. Somebody saying Toronto. Passport heavy? Where's my passport at? Let me find my passport. I think my passport is Toronto. That's a good option. Toronto, I like that. Where's my passport at? Shoot. I don't know where my passport is. I gotta find my passport. Where is my passport? I don't know where my passport is. Where's my passport at? Anybody see my passport? Where's my passport at? My passport in here? Tell I ain't used this mug in a while. Where's my passport at? All right, we got to get some organization in this place. I need to find my passport. Well, oh, I know where it is. I know where my passport is. It's in my room. All right, so we're going to have that conversation tomorrow. I want to know exactly where y'all want to go. I love Toronto. I'm thinking about hitting it. And then I can connect with my bag chasers in those particular places and all of that. How did that get out of whack? All right. So, again, make sure y'all join the Patreon. Link is in the description as well as pinned to the top of the chat. And then in addition to that, if you need to kick it with me personally, email me at antondaniels413@gmail.com and we're going to get it popping. Y'all have a phenomenal afternoon. I'm going to see y'all later. Peace. Peace.